Hey guys, the game I'd like to show up today is Duelyst, which has been pretty much compared to Hearthstone in probably more ways than one, but I think the least I can do is at least sort of, for those of you who haven't actually played the game, I'll just show you an inkling of what to kind of expect. So, usually when I pick up Duelyst and I usually just play for 10 to 20 minutes and just going through a daily routine of just, completing a quest and playing a couple of online games. So, First thing to notice is that they always come with the daily challenge. It's a great way for just understanding the cards and just really seeing the strategy. But before I begin, I feel like I'm just sort of jumping straight into the game where it can feel like I'm not really explaining much. So Duelyst is a collectible card game, and much like Hearthstone, and essentially it's very similar to Hearthstone in a lot of ways, but it's also got its own unique way of looking at things. So if you can see here that we actually battle with our cards on a certain board, and of course there is a extra component added to the game that you will otherwise not see in Hearthstone. So, and then there's a whole bunch of monsters with sort of different kinds of abilities. So it's like here with Silhouette Tracer, the opening game is basically like in Hearthstone. It's basically a battle cry. So it's like when I summon the Silhouette Tracer on a space, it says teleport my general up to 3 spaces so I can move my general over there if I wanted to. Now, the other thing that's unique about Duelyst, well, in comparison to Hearthstone, is that you've also got your own general, which is a character that can also attack and has its own Bloodborne spell, which can be compared to the hero power. The Bloodborne spell is this spell in particular, at least for you, is a spell that comes off like maybe that becomes available like once every 2 turns, and it costs 1 mana and that sort of thing. So there will be a lot that you can sort of just pick up from playing the game itself, but and I probably won't necessarily go through all of them, but for now the least I can do is sort of just go through this daily challenge and just show you what I'm thinking. Of course I'll try and hover over the card so you can sort of just see what's happening. So alright, so usually in these daily challenges what you want to do is use all you have. Maybe you won't use all the cards and kill the enemy general in 1 turn. So I see this guy's got I see this general. It has 12 health. I've got 19 health. I'm right next to him. I could definitely attack him. However, there's a guy, a Bone Reaper, which has Provoke. So Provoke is like Taunt in Hearthstone, in that essentially Provoke is basically all enemy minions and generals cannot move until this guy is dead. So basically I can't attack him because I have to attack him first, or I have to remove him some way or other. So alright, so what I want to do, just see is just figure out what kind of cards I have. So I've got a Bristling Scorn, opening gambit, do 1 damage to all minions and generals including himself. So if I summon it down there, it would do 1 damage to everyone around him, and including himself. Give a friendly minion 2, destroy any minion with the lowest attack or type for the lowest attack. So I want to destroy this guy. So this card is basically saying that this card is probably the one I will use to destroy him. Silhouette Tracer, teleport your general up to 3 spaces. That could definitely move him out of the Provoke. Destroy another minion type with lowest attack. The next minion you summon this turn costs 2 less and takes 2 damage. Okay, so if it takes 2 damage, then I can't summon a minion with, but it seems that I'll be able to do that. Also, is that my general's got Frenzy, so that means if I attack with my general will also attack everyone else in around him from memory. So what I can do to begin with is maybe move my Silhouette Tracer, and this is just me trying things out. I don't actually know the strategy, so the least I could do is sort of just like maybe see if I attack him, then he also attacks everyone else. So, and of course the animations and the pixel art is kind of quite cool. So, okay, so I'm going to keep this in the back of my head. I'm not quite sure which is the right move yet. I know if I move my general over there I can do 2 damage, but it does not look like I can actually do any more damage with anyone else for the time being. So this is definitely something I sort of just want to try and figure out for the time being. One thing to also point out is that I've got a Greater Fortitude to give me a friendly minion 2 into +2/+2. I've only got 1 other minion on the board, and the other thing is like in Hearthstone there's also Summoning Sickness, so if I summon a minion, unless it has a condition called Rush, I will not be able to attack with it. So this, I would definitely want to pop this on this friend, give a friendly minion +2/+2, so I think I can do that right now. Don't think there'll be a problem. And then now he's got +2/+2. That means I can actually destroy this guy. So I will destroy him. Because he's got the lowest attack, I could destroy this guy as well. But he's got 4 health. Which is, destroy any minion with the lowest minion. Next minion summoned this turn costs 2 less and takes 2 damage. Okay, so what do I want to do? See, this guy, whenever your opponent draws a card, this minion gains +2/+2. So I don't think I've got anything that forces my opponent to draw a card unless I actually kill these. Alright, so what I definitely want to do next is see if there's a way I can actually kill them. So firstly, let's see if I destroy this, what will happen. Alright, so he's got Dying Wish and he's got another guy over there. Okay, that tells me a lot, which is really nice actually. Right, so now the thing I'm stuck on at the moment is that I can teleport my journal over there. I can hit him and hit everyone else, but the problem is I need to be able to deal 1 damage to everyone here as well. So the problem with that is that, let's see. Alright, I'm just trying to think for a second. Okay. So if I can move my journal in there for Frenzy. This guy needs to be... Oh wait, this is deal 1 damage to all minions in general, including itself. It doesn't matter where I summon it. So I could definitely move this guy probably here, doesn't really matter. So that's 1 damage to everyone. Alright, I can teleport. Oh, I don't have enough mana. Alright, then that's when I use this. And takes 2 damage. Okay, so I need to teleport my general first. So let's restart my turn and just do everything in order. Well, it doesn't have to be in any particular order. There's definitely some things you can afford to essentially not worry about until you actually deal with it. So we'll just use this. I will teleport my general over here. Alright. Now, time to Frenzy. Okay, and then now I can summon this guy, which killed, and since these 3 have a Dying Wish such that my opponent draws a card, this pushes up this guy, and this allows me to kill my opponent in 1 turn. There you go. Some of the daily challenges are really simple, some of them are really hard, but there is actually a great way to really understand like how some of the cards work as well as certain victory conditions. So and then there's of course the goal rewards which you get for completing quests as being in duels. So okay, so I can do ultimate quest, welcome back, destroy at least 5 minions. So you get to basically get a bunch of quests every day. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play through 1 game, just show you what it's like, and I'm gonna go with my favorite ambition deck. Now I'm at a fairly low rank. I'm only in super like rank 17 or 19, so it's really shouldn't well, at least for those watching, I would if there are cards missing in my deck, it's because I don't have them. If my strategy is lacking, it's because I haven't played the game enough. So, but the least I can do is sort of just explain like what I'm thinking and then show you some of the gameplay. So, this Abyssian deck, it's got sort of things that involve like maybe sacrificing certain creatures. And then, but let's just go through one thing. All friendly minions +2 attack this turn. I'm not gonna get that many minions to begin with, so I'm gonna mulligan that one. Definitely some of the other cards might be a bit more useful for the time being. Okay, this is great. And so like in Hearthstone, if you're the second player, you get a coin that gets 1 extra mana. The other thing is that you also have mana and reserves in which to summon your minions. So essentially, you can see I've got 3 mana up here, so I can definitely cast this spell called Summon Trick Tree 1/1 ray clicks next to each other. And those mana globes are essentially sort of just ways to they just give you additional mana, which is kind of just like a way to really just get a boost to begin with. Now, do I want to keep Dark Transformation? I don't think I'll be getting that fairly early, so I'm gonna just replace that, see if I can get a better card. Nothing too great at the moment. Now, this is a good time where Soul Shadow Pact will be good, because then I can give all my minions +2 attack and then do a lot of damage to my opponent. So again, the grid based system doesn't matter too much for the time being, but you will see how it's important a bit later, because one of the things I enjoy about this deck I've made for myself is that when I've got lots and lots of minions, I can basically surround my opponents, and it also means that my opponent I can stick a minion there, stick a minion there, stick a minion there. My opponent can't move, but my opponent can still summon minions around him, but already restricting that that level of control and such is what I really enjoy, and I'm very much a fan of control decks, so to speak. So what do I want to do? Okay, so I've got 4 mana. What I want to do is put a Shield Master up there. Keep that guy occupied, but definitely I'll just kill him here. Now, what I want to do now is that I'm going to be a bit of a jerk, and I'm going to surround my opponent with I'm going to attempt to surround my opponent with my minions, and just like hope he won't be able to destroy this guy. And I'm purposely not going to attack because I want to restrict his movement. So I'm going to hit end turn here. And then the idea is that when I have a lot of minions, there's a point where if you see the Shadow Watcher, it's got a condition called Death Watch, which triggers an effect when any minion dies. So it's like maybe I can combine Soul Shadow Pact and Shadow Watcher just to get a really souped up Shadow Watcher and do a lot of damage to my opponent. So in the same way, in several like online card training games, there's a whole bunch of combos you can think of and pull off yourself. Now, one thing is special about this opponent, it's got a Bloodborne ability called Warbird, which is 2 damage to all enemies in the enemy general's column. So if he activates Warbird, then he will just do 2 damage all the way up here, which is really, really annoying, and obviously not ideal. Alright, so he's got to simply transform my Provoker guy into something, which is, I mean, it's kind of to be expected. I mean, of course, it's just a way for me to force like a kind of minion removal. Now, he's got to figure out what he wants to do, and obviously he's trying to get rid of my minions one by one. And as you've observed already, each general can already attack. So now he's got a minion with Rush, which allows him to attack as soon as he plays the card, which is pretty good. Okay. Now, I can still activate whatever I want to. But I don't think. Got 5 HP. I want to swap out a minion. I want to keep the Necros here. It feels like I won't need. Alright, since there's fewer minions, I probably won't need Soul Shadow Pact, so I can essentially replace a card every turn. So what I'm gonna do is move closer again, get some control. I'm gonna summon my what was it? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna summon this guy with Death Watch. I'm gonna move this guy in and destroy this guy, and then he gets some stats up. And then I'm gonna use my Bloodborne spell, which is summon 2 Wraithlings nearby your general, and I'm gonna hope one spawns there. We'll see. All right. Now my opponent can't move anymore, which is great for me. So I'll smack my opponent 1, and that gives me a lot of control over the situation. I think I'm in a pretty good spot. Again, I'm not going to attack with this guy, so to keep control over my opponent. So that's essentially the strategy I have with this deck. Of course, there are other decks with certain abilities which very much affect the way you play your game and the way you play your hero and such. So for me, and at least with the Abyssian, with Lily Blightchaser, her mechanic is basically focusing on using Wraithlings and using them for buffs. And the other, and then each sort of like division or race has 2 different heroes, both with a bunch of different abilities, which really affect how you play the game. And that's something I really enjoy about this game as well, because it's sort of like, okay, this is really interesting. I have to change my playstyle if I'm playing a certain hero. So if I'm watching my opponent doing Healing Mystic, okay, we could definitely deal with that. Restore 2 health, that's definitely very achievable. Now the question is, what do I need? What do I not need? Okay, so this guy, I can definitely kill him fairly easily. The question is, now this is an easy, this is an artifact where it's like something I can equip my hero with, and this one is basically when your general deals damage, summon a 1/1 Wraithling nearby your general. So what I can do is, I'm just trying to think. Okay, what I want to do is, I'm gonna kill this guy. I'm gonna equip my artifacts. And then I'm gonna hit this guy. I'm gonna move my general up. And then I'm gonna smack this guy. And then I'm gonna summon a minion to keep my opponent trapped in. And then I'm gonna take a nice big chunk out of her with my Shadow Watcher. So that's essentially sort of the general strategy of Okay, I think I'm gonna keep these two because they're very useful for dealing with enemy minions. And if I'm starving for cards, then I will hope to be able to actually kill this guy, because his dying wish, that means when he dies, I basically get to draw an extra card. So I mean that's kind of the gist of at least my deck and kind of the way I play things. Now this is definitely an oversight on my part. I've completely forgot that my opponent had a Bloodborne spell that would allow her to kill a bunch of people. But on the bright side, it means my Shadow Watcher gets a lot of stats, which works out very well for me. So Repulse the Beast, okay. So that means he can so opening Gambit, he can push a minion to any space, which is gonna be quite annoying, but definitely not the end of the world. Alright, things are going pretty well, so I'm not too worried for the time being. Nearby your gym. Wait, my opponent just casted my spell. That's amusing, nevertheless. Okay, so what can I do? I wonder. I can definitely, moving forward, be very aggressive. I'm gonna move this guy forward so that I don't forget to moving forward later. Smack him, smack her with a bit of damage. I will summon this one, and you know, just avoid that little additional damage that might be like, you know, a bit of a life and death kind of situation. Because it may well my opponent has a finishing condition or just some kind of combo to completely finish me off. So now the problem, the thing is that I put my general in the same column as this guy, but since she used her warbird last turn, that means I know I've got one turn to move my general out of the way. So I'm gonna move this guy down. I'm gonna summon 2 more minions, and then I'll just end my turn. I'm still gonna keep this lure in case my enemy puts down a minion that might be a problem, and maybe I would just want to move it away as soon as possible. So no doubt that this is a fairly straightforward, fairly easy victory for me. And definitely just playing these quick online games is definitely it's relaxing, and you can just sort of pick it up, play a couple of games in less than 30 minutes, and that's definitely, for someone as busy as I am, is something that I enjoy about Duelyst, and in the fact that it adds an additional layer of strategy. So it's definitely not one to be completely so this is why I kept the lure for. It's got a provoke. That means if you don't remember already, these minions are forced to attack this guy, and they cannot move until this guy has moved somewhere else or that guy is dead. Alright, so my general gains 3 attacks, so it's probably not gonna mean much, because even if he hits that guy. So this is why I kept the demonic lure for. I'm just gonna replace this and see, turn a 2x2 area into shadow creep. Okay, that's not particularly important for me right now, so I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna finish off my opponent, and we'll just end the game right there. And it's quite good timing, because then he allows me to end my video as well. So, and yes, as my opponent's obviously conceded, so that's a fairly solid victory for me. And then you can see, like, getting a whole bunch of gold with this victory. There's a nice victory there. I'm going up a rank, 4 wins in a row, +1 bonus progress, up to rank 14. That's pretty nice. So plus 20 gold for completing a quest, plus more gold for my first win of the day, plus more gold as a daily bonus for the winning 2 games. And so the gold really stacks up quite quickly. Now I'm actually curious as to the other thing, which was I don't have 100 gold, which is kind of a problem. But the other thing that's just really that's probably just important to mention as an afternote, you can get new cards by buying spirit orbs. Of course, you can buy spirit orbs with real money, or you can buy using that gold that I earned during the quest. So it's basically pretty much like once every day. If you complete all your quests, you'll be able to open 1 card pack. And the other thing is that there is also like a gauntlet, where sort of like you just draft a bunch of random cards, you build a deck, and then you battle against other people who build drafted decks as well. And so there's certainly a lot of variety, and for me, usually deal 40 damage in a single game, that's gonna take a while, because I don't have a deck that's really built for damage. So and then there's also a lot of cosmetic stuff, such as emotes, which are, you know, kind of like really cute profile icons, card backs with general skins and bundles. I will admit I'm not overly all that interested in cosmetics. I'm really more a gameplay strategy kind of person. So yeah, this is Duelyst. I do enjoy playing this on a almost daily basis, and I hope it's worth checking out, because it is free. Definitely free to download, definitely free to check out, free to make an account, and it is on Steam with an expansion coming out. So while it's in its early stages, while it's not being like completely cluttered with cards, and while this is sort of like trailing behind Hearthstone in a sense, it also gives the devs an opportunity to make this game better where Hearthstone might be having problems. So if you're looking for something a bit different, you're a bit burned out by Hearthstone, I could definitely recommend Duelyst, and it won't cost you too much effort to check out, except for a bit of your time and just for a bit of fun. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.